Looking at communication now, this has not been asked on the exam before, so obviously it's a danger area because it could come up, but I don't have any past paper questions for you because it's a new section, but I'll take you through the basics. So communication is really, really important. You obviously don't want miscommunication, false messages, either internally or externally, because that could cause a very damaging effect on your company, on your sales, if it's an incorrect message about the business, if people aren't happy about the business. But also, even if it's something a little bit more innocent, that you've asked your employee to do something but they think that it's a different task that they're meant to be doing, that's wasted time and it's very inefficient. So you want your messages to be very clear and people to be able to understand the messages. Communication, remember, can be a diseconomy of scale. So that diseconomies of scale, remember, are where you the output increases, causing your average cost or unit cost to increase. So it's a problem of getting larger. So you get more miscommunication, and you also might need to spend a little bit more money on communication technology, because you want to be able to communicate better with people. So if you've got a very small team, you can have a meeting with them and everyone knows what's going on. If you've got a much larger team, you might have to invest in people that communicate messages with them or schedule meetings and things like that. And so you don't want your cost to increase because that eats into your profit margins. And communication, good communication, can increase motivation. So remember all the motivational theories that you did in Unit 2, looking at Hertzberg and empowering your employees. Now, you can only empower them if you're communicating to them that they have control and communicating clear objectives to them and what you want them to achieve, but giving them the autonomy, I suppose, over their own job, and people feeling like they understand what's going on and they have a part to play in that. And you can only get that if you've got good communication. That's very motivational. Communication as well, Mayo described it as very motivational, to be consulting your employees and observing what they're doing, and that will form some basis of communication as well. So very important to the business. Communication, though, it's not just within the business. We could have, it differs in terms of who's sent the information, who's receiving the information. So it could be internal to internal, so one employee to another employee. It could be internal to external, so an employee to a customer, or even a supplier or a lender. It could be anyone that's an external stakeholder. It could be the external stakeholder getting in touch with the business, so a customer getting in touch with customer services. But it can also be a customer reaching out to another customer. So for example, what's that website called where you travel reviews or something? Oh my gosh, I can't believe my mind has gone blank. Working too hard, I suppose. But yeah, that travel, a well-known travel website where people review hotel rooms and things like that. That's like external to external as well. But I suppose the business can communicate a little bit and they say, oh, sorry, you didn't like your stay, and hope can make it up to you. Those types of things. Oh, I think my computer is just. Oh, there we go. There it goes, back. Channel communication can be different. It could be vertical, so up and down the business, so from a manager to the subordinate, or back upwards. Could be horizontal, so department to department. It could be internal, external. It could be informal or formal. The communication method, it could be email, it could be letter, it could be verbal, it could be web-based. And is it two-way communication? Is it just a one-way message? Are you expecting feedback? Is it a conversation? So that can change. So don't just, I don't think they're going to ask you for list all the different types of communication, but it's good to be aware of this because you don't just want to think of communication as just being internal to the business. It's also external. However, there are communication barriers. So is the message too easily forgotten? Has it not got a snappy message? So this might come into marketing, the section of the course where you're trying to do a promotional campaign, but if it's not very memorable, people aren't going to remember it. They're not going to be persuaded by it or swayed by it. if your business has a really important announcement to make to their employees, so for example, they're going to change the dress code or something, and they want everyone to change slightly so that they present a more consistent image to customers, things like that, they're going to have to make sure that it's really clear and that people understand the message. So it's not, it's not something they're going to forget about. If you communicate, yeah, could you wear a shirt and tie to work tomorrow? That would be great. If you communicate like that at the end of a meeting, no one's going to remember it, and they're going to think, why aren't you being clear about this? Why aren't you talking loudly enough so I can hear, and why aren't you making this seem important? This can be a really big barrier. So too many emails, too many meetings, too much information, too many things to do at once, too much jargon as well, like acronyms, 3-letter acronyms. If people can't actually understand, if it's like you're speaking a different language but you're not speaking a different language, you're all speaking English, that means you've got too much jargon. However, language barriers can be something. Different cultural barriers can be a problem to communication, and misinterpretations, and also people's perceptions of others and stereotypes as well. You might find that some people are a little bit closed down to new ideas because of prior experiences that have been very negative, and so they're not open to listening to your point of view or your opinion. That could be very, very hard to work with.